Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Mini Athletics and Me. And today I'm really excited to be joined by two of our Mini Athletics franchisees. We've got Sam McDermott from South East London, and we've got Ryan McClure, who's joined us from Cambridge and Saffron Walden franchise. And today we're going to be talking all about the Mini Athletics Superstar event, which really is like a massive highlight of our year. We must point out that the three of us are all past winners, isn't that? So yeah, we've had full experience of superstars. We've attended a few now. So yeah, I've got some questions and I'm going to start off with some one-word answers. So, can you tell us what's the best thing about the Mini Athletics Superstar event? Who wants to go first?
In one word.
I'll go. I'm just going to say track.
The best
Track.
races.
Okay, amazing. Can you pick one word to describe your coaching style?
Fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah. Fun. It has to, yeah, it's all a lot of fun. So, yeah, I think.
Fun, that's a good one. And a little bit away from the Superstar event, but outside of Mini Athletics or outside of athletics, what's your favourite hobby?
Well, it's not really outside. I like to run, so I do a lot of running. So I think that's,
Hobby.
yeah.
But rugby.
Yes.
I play rugby.
Oh yeah, Ryan, the keen rugby player. Okay, amazing. As I already said, we're all past winners of the Superstar event. Sam, do you want to go first and just tell us a bit about when you won and your team that year?
Yeah, so I won in 2022. So and that was my first time of doing it because obviously I started in 2020, gone into COVID. And so what was great about that event, I thought it was my first time, but what was great about that event, it was the first time we started to bring everyone back together after a few years of not being able to do so much. So to have a big event like that was really, it's quite special.
Yeah, I think it was so exciting for all the children to get back out.
To get back out again, yeah.
It was at Lee Valley as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was at the inside track, which was great. It's such a lovely facility there, and obviously it was a bit of a smaller track. Yes, but they all loved it, and it was getting back out of there was incredible for them.
How many children did you have on your team?
Oh, I think I had a full team. I think it was 10. Yeah. And it was good. I think I had all the age ranges. I had 5 up to 7, and then a good mix of boys and girls as well. So yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And Ryan, most recent champion, I might add.
Yeah. I won. Well, I didn't win. They won it. They won it last year. I forgot what the questions were.
No, so it was just a bit, about when you won and a bit about your team last year.
Yeah, we won last year. I think I had 6 in the team, and 5 of them had been with Mini Athletics since they were Diddies, which was obviously amazing. Mixture of boys and girls. I think it was a split mix. And we also...
Okay.
No, it's just really good.
Ryan might be good. He's back. We lost. I remember though, the thing with your team that was amazing was the fact that so many of the athletes had been with you since they were Diddy athletes. To see them to kind of from starting their journey with you, I guess when they were 2, and then 5 to 7-year-olds competing on the big athletics track.
It was really cool. I think, well, one of them is now too old to compete, but the rest of that team are turning up this year as well with...
Oh, it's on again.
More mini athletes coming as well, so no, that's really good. Yeah, the team's bigger this year, and it's the same team as last year.
Yeah, incredible. Well, I'm guessing the people of Cambridge saw your win last year, and
I didn't talk about it.
No. Yeah, nothing. Just that little quiet thing.
Kept quite quiet about it.
And that last year was at St Mary's University in Twickenham, so that was on an outdoor track, and we were it was a lovely day actually, wasn't it? Good weather.
Raining. It was raining, and then we were like, oh no.
Right before.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, it's fine.
Like it knew that we were running our event. And then I won it way back in 2019 now, so it seems like a long while ago. But actually, like Sam, that was our first year at Superstars. I think I'd launched in the January, and I think the event was in the November. And that was at Lee Valley as well. And I'm sure my team, I think, had 5 athletes that year. Again, a mixture of boys and girls, but just the excitement, so proud of them. Yeah, it was just, it's amazing seeing, I know we're talking about winning it now, but it's amazing seeing all the children competing on their track. They almost can't believe it, can they, that they've gone from their halls or their parks to where they're doing mini athletics every week onto this giant, like, real life track.
The best thing about it is they don't know, like, you don't know if you're winning, you're losing.
Yeah,
They're all just loving it, and then at the end you find out. It's just really good how, like, I don't know how it's run.
yeah, it's so true. It's not, yeah, we don't know as we're going around, and all we're doing as coaches is celebrating their success at every game and encouraging them to do their best, regardless of where you might finish at the end. Can you tell us a bit, Sam, about what the atmosphere is like on the day?
Everyone is so excited. They're desperate to get on the track.
Yeah.
So as soon as they get there, yeah, I think last year I got told off because my whole team were running on the track before I'd managed to collect them. I hadn't even seen them, and they were all just off, just running round and round and round. And I was like, "Oh, we're not supposed to be on it yet. Come back, come back. We can get on it soon." But yeah, it's just it's just yeah, they're just so super excited. And then also the long jump pit. They spend a lot of time being like, when are we going to jump in the sand? When are we jumping in the sand? When are we jumping in the sand? It's just, yeah, the level of excitement is just unreal.
Yeah, it's true. You can even feel it from the parents, because all the parents are outside the track, aren't they? It's kind of a bit of crowd control. Yeah, but children all.
But even the parents are going, "Oh, can I run around on the track?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe at the end I'll sneak you on." But yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it even around the fact that the parents can go around the outside to all the different parts of the track where the children are competing is actually brilliant, because they can see all the action and keep cheering them on. Ryan, can you pick one standout moment from the competition?
Apart from us winning.
Apart from lifting the...
Yeah, I guess it'll go back to the sand pit. It's something that they've never, usually they're not told. So, like, if they see sand, they're like, don't jump in it. But they've actually had that. They get to run up and jump into, like, a professional sand pit. And then when they're racing, they're running over our hurdles, but they're still running over hurdles on a racetrack. And that's not one thing, sorry. One thing would be just how happy they get over, like, everything. Like, everything is just kind of, every event, they're just really happy with each other and stuff. Yeah. The smiles. That's the best thing, their smiles.
Very big smiles from start to end. How do you think your teams, like, responded to the experience? So then kind of coaching them afterwards, or seeing them afterwards once you were back at classes, how do you think they responded to the experience?
So what I think, so going from like winning it, and I'm not going to say losing it because he didn't lose it, but not winning it effectively. Like initially there was that kind of initial disappointment, but then they all just were like, right, I want to win that, so I'm just gonna try harder next time. I'm gonna try harder in classes, and I'm gonna do this and do that. And it was the initial kind of disappointment about, oh, I actually really wanted that, but we didn't get it. So what am I gonna do now to actually go out and get it? And so yeah, excitement kind of still continued when we went back to classes and saw them again.
Motivating for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like incredible, because we do try, obviously with our 5 to 7s, we bring in that well, to be honest, even with our littles classes, we start to bring in that element of competition, you know, building their resilience. And you know, the fact that you didn't win doesn't matter. How amazing is that to hear that they go away and just think, okay, well, I'm just going to keep going, keep
going, yeah,
and try again, I guess. In terms of, like, can you pick kind of your proudest moment as a coach? I mean, there's so many. I'd find that really hard to choose.
I think it was kind of that. It was immediately after, when, like the year, what was it? So yeah, 2023 when we did it, because we'd won it the year before. I think some of them who were still in the team were like really expecting that they were gonna win it again, and so they were just slightly, like a couple of them, including my son actually, the face he was like, "What? We didn't win it? What?" And then, but then, like again, like straight afterwards, they were like, "Okay, right, no, I'm gonna really try harder and try my best and like really listen and take everything on board." And I think that's it. That's what we want to be, kind of motivating them to just keep going. Yeah, so I think that was that.
Seeing them with that drive is amazing when they're, some of them are still really little. Like the 5-year-olds are still quite small, aren't they?
Yeah.
When they compete on, like the track looks massive when they're
It's
on it.
huge.
How about you, Ryan? One particular proud moment?
At the event,
Yeah.
yeah. So, well, just all of them working together. Like some of them didn't even know who they were, like who the other people were, because they were different. Some were from Cambridge, some were from Saffron Walden, but they were all like high-fiving each other and like really bigging each other up. So I guess that's a proud moment of mine.
Yeah, it definitely is. Even the beginning, when we all do the kind of the lap of
Yeah.
honour, where all our team, and we all bring our team flags, and they even seeing them cheer on other teams. It's just amazing. Like the team spirit is really evident throughout the day from like parents, coaches, franchisees, and the children. So I think, yeah, I agree. Like it's brilliant just to see that team spirit. And like you say, some people, they can never have met each other on the team. If you've got children, children come from different venues where we run classes. Join the superstar team. I think for me as well, it's really seeing. I had one particular child who was so shy and I think was so nervous about competing, but to see them, being really brave, and actually by the end, when I spoke to them afterwards and was just like, how did you find it? She was just so sweet. She'd absolutely loved it. It was amazing to see the difference from the child that stepped onto the track at the beginning of the afternoon to the one that finished the day with their medal. And like you say, I know they're all competing to win, but they really quickly, that's not the biggest feature of the day, is it? Just seeing them compete in all the events is amazing. What do you think you personally take away from the experience as a franchisee?
I think it's about, really trying to instill like a positive like mindset towards, like initially in sport and in our classes, but then it's something that they can carry on in like everyday life, just to be like, yeah, just keep at it, keep trying. Like it's like not winning was not, we didn't lose, it was just a learning experience. So yeah, I think it's just trying to instill that kind of growth mindset into the children.
And you're as a franchisee, you're kind of giving them experiences that they wouldn't get with mini athletics kind of thing. They wouldn't, like, especially with athletics, they probably wouldn't see a racing track until they're like 9, especially in Cambridge, 9, 10. And then to be able to race around it and be able to jump in the sand pit and stuff like that, giving them quite, as a franchisee, you're giving them quite big experiences early on in life.
Yeah, I agree. It really kind of complements our program for the 5 to 7-year-olds because, like you say, UK athletics is when, 8, 9 up, that's when they might be onto big track. For us to be able to kind of, work towards the superstar event throughout the year with our mini athletes, when we're doing all those athletics events, to then be able to take them onto a track. And then they're kind of like, oh, that's what we did in class. And they can see it all coming together, don't they? Like the skills and the techniques that you've shown them. Once they're on the big track, they're like, oh, wow, this is, this is how it works. So I think it's also an incredible event from that point of view for the franchisees and for the program development to be able to bring our mini athletes to an athletics track once a year. And franchisees come from all across the UK, from Ireland. I mean, some of the athletes travel so far to get to the event, which is incredible, like amazing parents bringing them. But I'm sure I spoke to parents last year who travelled from kind of Bristol, Nottingham, I think it was up that way, and they were all so pleased that they'd made the journey, like it had definitely been one.
There was lots of sports events going on around us, wasn't there? Because most of our mini athletes were in like traffic, 2 hours of traffic. But then after they were like, it's so good that we did it. Obviously, not just because of the winning, but they were like before the last ceremony, they were saying how amazing it was, and just seeing the smiles on the faces and like how much their child was excited and enjoying that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that. I think there was rugby on at Twickenham, wasn't there? It was full on. Everybody travelling to the same location. Another thing I wanted to ask you was, so since the event last year, have you seen any kind of lasting impact on your athletes? I know we just talked a bit about how it's great seeing their development, and as coaches, we've got that event to work to kind of build on their performance so that they can then compete on the track. But do you see anything else, any kind of other lasting impact?
I think, they've all stayed. They've all said they want to come this year, but then also and I don't know if it's because of the event, but they've improved like drastically, kind of thing. It's almost as if they're trying to do better this year, kind of thing. And then because they're trying to do better with the minis, other people want to be as good as them, and then it has seemed to impact our minis classes since it happened, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's what we want to hear. Everyone wants to be part of the action. How about you, Sam? I know it was a few years ago now, but
Yeah, well, I've got a couple. So I haven't got any from the original team left, but I've got a couple who will be their last one, and so it's been something they've kind of been working towards, because they'll be turning 8 in the summer. So, but they're like, right, I can do one more, I can do one more, I can do one more, and it's definitely like one of the children, at least, he's now taken on a bit of a leader role in the class. He always goes around and he's showing everyone what we have to do if there's any new children. And he's like, I know what we're doing, follow me. So yeah, he's taken on like he's working towards something, but also kind of taken on that bit of responsibility and leadership as well, which is quite sweet.
Do you,
Yeah.
Sam? Do you start? I'm going off track. I'm really sorry, but do you start a lesson plan? So you go, today we're doing this, and then the older ones are like, I know what to do, and then they tell everyone. Yeah.
He'll come in the door and you'll see from the setup, and he's like, oh, I know what we're doing today. I'll show. Don't worry, I'll show everyone.
That's something like I love. I'll start talking, and then they'll be like, "No, I'll be running this."
It's when you do something a little bit different, and they're like, "But no, that's not what we do. That's not what you're supposed to do."
tip for coaches now: train up your 5 to 7 so they can.
Yeah.
You can sit there with your feet. Isn't that brilliant? You've already got mini athletics coaches in the making there.
Yeah.
That's what it's all like. So inspiring for them. I love that. Hilarious. New coaches. This is probably my last question, but I was going to ask you if you've got any advice for other mini athletics franchisees and coaches who are preparing this year for Superstar. Is there anything extra special that you do in your classes, or anything that you'd recommend?
Say I do anything extra special. The 2 years, no, how many times have I think it was the second year. Last year was my second year, and then the year before we only had 2, but we still did it, and we joined with Bristol, who only had 2, and they had, and again, the children didn't know each other, but they absolutely loved it. So even if you have 1 or 2 children, still come. Those children came to last year, and then they won, kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know about preparing. I don't really want to be preparing them for the event.
No, but do you talk to them about the event in their class?
It's more.
It's more.
Yeah, I talk about the event, just saying how amazing it is. It's quite far away for us, so I kind of understand that if people might not turn up, but I think we've kind of shown how big it is, but that took time. So with new franchisees, even if you got one child, still bring them down and then they'll join a team. They could even win.
Yeah, totally. I think our first year with when I had 5, we joined with the team from St Albans,
so
and like
Nottingham,
I said, they went round as 2 teams put together, and they
Nottingham were
loved it.
coming to see. I don't even know why Nathan. Nathan was there to kind of see how we work, how the event is, and then he brought his son, and then his son joined us. So I guess we are Cambridge, Saffron Walden, Nottingham. But so but Nottingham hadn't started by then. But yeah, so he brought his son, and then obviously from there he's got his own franchise and just absolutely loves it and bringing his own team. So yeah, even if you've got 1 or 2, like if you've got small numbers, still bring them.
Yeah, good advice. Anything else?
I don't think we necessarily do it. We don't do anything special. We just, try and maybe we kind of like hone in a little bit more on some of the athletics events that we do in classes anyway, and just say these are the type of things we're going to be doing on Superstar Day.
I think for us, it's kind of talking to them more about the event, isn't it? Just so that they know, what to expect and kind of building the excitement. We do think, I mean, we all rock up, don't we, with our flags, our team flags. Everyone does it a bit differently, but I think one year, like all my team had kind of decorated their own handprints, which then we stuck onto the flags. They all had their mini flags as well, didn't they, that they were running around the track with. So the excitement does build even from, to making their flag, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because we play some of the games as well, don't we? Like Shark Attack and things that we're doing in class. So you can say, oh look, there'll be lots of things. If some of them are a little bit nervous, you can say, look, there's going to be lots of games that you'll obviously be like quite familiar with. It's not going to be all new and daunting. There's lots of familiarities and still like it's not serious competition. It's still fun games. So
They
yeah, you can put them at ease a bit.
Yeah, they already know it, like the Shark Attack, and then they were doing trying to think which other ones we had going on, but yeah, the classic mini athletics.
And then the first time you do like those ones back in class again is also quite nice, because they're like, oh yeah, I remember when we did that and we did it on a track. So yeah, that's quite good.
Yeah, it's such an exciting event. It is probably, shall I say good luck for this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so middle of June, we're all building our teams at the moment. There's a lot of athletes, I think, travelling from all over the country, which is amazing. Yeah, really excited, really looking forward to it. Yeah, we'll see each other on the track.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining me today. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Bye,
Thank you.
Right.
Bye.